The massive crystalline ships appeared in Earth's sky like floating mountains made of living glass. Their surfaces shimmered with strange colors that hurt human eyes to look at directly. Commander Dexfel stood on the bridge of the largest ship. His body made of what looked like moving crystal that glowed with blue light when he was happy. "Perfect," he said to the other aliens around him. His voice sounded like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. The sacred codex was right about this world. Look at those small creatures down there. They are not even trying to run away or hide. Other Veltar beings nodded their crystal heads. They had traveled across the galaxy for many years, following the ancient prophecies written in their holy book. The prophecies spoke of a world with small, warm creatures that would make perfect companions. The Veltar had been lonely for so long, ruling their vast empire with no one to care for or protect far below on Earth's surface. President Park Jin-ho stood in a secret bunker deep under the city of Seoul. Around him sat the most important leaders from every country on Earth. The room was filled with tension and fear, but also hope. "Listen carefully," President Park said in a quiet voice. "We must all remember the plan. When they come, we surrender completely. No fighting, no weapons, no resistance at all." He looked at each person in the room. Dr. Lee Minho's team has been working day and night. They have broken the alien language and read their messages. The aliens think we are simple animals. They want to keep us as pets. Dr. Kim Sora sat at a computer covered in alien symbols and strange patterns. She was one of the smartest people on Earth when it came to understanding languages. For 3 years she had been listening to the alien radio signals from space, slowly figuring out what they meant. "The plan is working," she said, looking up from her screen. "The Veltar are already calling us the small blessed ones in their private talks. They think we are cute and harmless. They want to take care of us like humans take care of cats or dogs." The room fell silent. It was a strange and frightening idea. The most powerful species on Earth would pretend to be pets for these crystal aliens. But it was their only chance to survive and learn. When the Veltar finally came down to Earth, everything happened exactly as planned. The alien ships landed in major cities around the world. The Veltar stepped out, tall and beautiful, made of what looked like colored glass that moved like water. They were twice as tall as humans and seemed to glow with their own light. President Park Jin-ho walked forward first. He got down on his knees and bowed his head to the ground. "We surrender," he said in simple words. "Please be kind to us." Commander Dexfel looked down at the small human and felt his crystal heart fill with warmth. These creatures were even more adorable than the prophecies had described. They were small and soft, with tiny hands and feet. Their eyes were big and trusting, like the young of many species across the galaxy. "Do not fear, little ones, Commander Dexfel," said his voice gentle and musical. "We have come to care for you. The sacred codex told us we would find you here, and now we will keep you safe forever." Within just a few weeks, the Veltar had built beautiful places for humans to live, called them conservation zones, like the places humans had once built for endangered animals. These areas had comfortable houses, plenty of food, and even playgrounds and entertainment centers. To the aliens, it looked like the humans were happy and content in their new homes. Every morning, the Veltar would come to feed the humans and watch them play. They brought toys and games, delighted when the humans seemed to enjoy them. The aliens took pictures and videos of cute human behavior, sharing them with other Veltar across their empire, but the Veltar did not know what was really happening. Late at night, when the aliens were sleeping, humans would slip away through hidden tunnels and secret passages, deep underground, in old subway tunnels and forgotten basements. Dr. Kim Sora and her team continued their real work. They had computers and equipment hidden everywhere, while carefully concealed from the alien scanners. Every day, they intercepted more Veltar communications, learning more about their technology, their culture, and their plans. "We are learning so much," Dr. Kim Sora whispered to her team one night. "They think we cannot understand their language or their machines, but we are recording everything. Every conversation, every technical manual, every secret they think they are keeping from us. The humans had become the greatest actors in the galaxy. During the day, they played with alien toys and ate alien food, smiling and laughing like happy pets. But at night, they studied star charts, learned about faster-than-light travel, planned for the future. The Veltar had no idea that their adorable pets were actually learning how to build spaceships, energy weapons, and force fields. They had no idea that the humans were not just surviving, but preparing for something much bigger. The greatest deception in galactic history had begun, and the Veltar were completely fooled by Earth's perfect performance. 6 months had passed. Since the crystal aliens arrived on Earth, the Veltar had grown very comfortable with their new life. They loved watching the humans in their conservation zones, just like people might watch their favorite pets play in a garden. Commander Dexvel had made it his daily habit to visit the Soul Conservation Zone. He especially enjoyed watching a human called Keeper Jinho, who always greeted him with what looked like simple hand movements and bows. The alien commander thought these were just cute human behaviors. It's like a dog wagging its tail when happy. But Commander Dexvel did not know the truth. The human he called Keeper Jinho was actually President Park Jinho. And those simple hand movements were actually a secret code. Okay, other humans would stand around and make small gestures with their fingers and hands. Okay, to the aliens, it looked like humans just moving randomly. In reality, they were passing important information about alien activities, troop movements, and new technologies every day. Park Jin-ho would receive detailed reports about what the aliens were doing in other parts of the world. He learned about new alien ships arriving, new buildings being constructed, and new experiments the aliens were conducting. All of this information was passed through hand signals that looked like innocent human play, deep underground in hidden bunkers. Dr. Kim Sora and her team worked around the clock. They had built secret laboratories in old subway tunnels, abandoned mine shafts, and forgotten basement areas. The aliens had no idea these places existed, because they only paid attention to the surface where their pets lived. Dr. Kim Sora had been studying the alien sacred texts for months. These were the holy books that the Veltar believed contained prophecies about finding Earth and its people. But one day, her assistant Dr. Choi Min-seok made a discovery that changed everything they thought they knew. "Dr. Kim, you need to see this right away," Min-seok said, his hands shaking with excitement. He had been working late into the night, translating more of the ancient alien writing. "These prophecies are not what we thought they were, Dr. Kim." Sora looked at the alien text on their computer screen. She had learned to read the strange symbols that looked like moving crystal patterns. "What do you mean?" she asked. "Look at the way the words are arranged," Min-seok explained. "When I translate it more carefully, it is not written like predictions about the future. It is written like warnings about the past." Dr. Kim Sora studied the text more closely. The alien writing talked about the Great Awakening when the small creatures would show their true nature. But now she could see that the grammar and word structure were different from normal prophecies. "You are right," she said slowly. "This is not telling the future. This is telling a story about something that already happened." Over the next few days, the team worked to translate more of the ancient texts. What they discovered was shocking. The sacred codex was not actually written by the Veltar at all. It was written by another species that the Veltar conquered thousands of years ago. These ancient people had written warnings about creatures exactly like humans. The texts described beings who appeared simple and harmless, but actually possessed the spark of infinite adaptation. These creatures could learn any technology, copy any invention, and adapt to any situation. They would pretend to be weak and stupid while secretly becoming more powerful than their captors. "The Veltar do not know their own history, Dr. Kim," Sora realized. "They think these are prophecies about finding perfect pets, but they are actually warnings about a species that destroyed their ancestors' enemies." While the humans were making this incredible discovery underground, the Veltar were busy expanding their empire. They had turned Earth into a stopping point for their space fleets. Alien ships arrived every week, bringing supplies and taking alien soldiers to fight wars on distant planets. The Veltar built research centers and military bases all around Earth, never imagining that their pets were watching and learning everything. In another secret facility, a young engineer named Park Dae-yoon led a team of the smartest humans on Earth. Her job was to study every piece of alien technology she could find. Whenever the aliens threw away broken equipment or left tools lying around, Dayun's team would steal them and take them to their hidden laboratory. "We have figured out how their energy weapons work," Dayun reported to Dr. Kim Sora during one of their secret meetings. "Can build copies of their basic tools now. Give us a few more months and we might be able to copy their spaceships." Dayun's team had learned to make alien-style computers, communication devices, and even small flying machines. They worked in complete silence, deep underground, while above them, other humans played with simple toys and acted like happy pets. The aliens had no idea that they're cute. Human pets were actually reverse engineering their most advanced technology. Every day, the humans became a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more capable of fighting back if they needed to. The greatest trick in galactic history was working perfectly. The Veltar believed they had found the perfect pets, while the humans quietly prepared for something the aliens could never imagine. 1 full year had passed since the crystal aliens took over Earth. In the deep underground bunkers, Dr. Kim Sora and her team had been working without rest, translating more and more of the ancient alien texts. What they found made their blood run cold. The most important discovery came when Dr. Kim Sora finally understood the complete meaning of the prophecies. The ancient writings were not just warnings about dangerous creatures, they were detailed descriptions of exactly what humans were doing right now. Listen to this. Dr. Kim Sora said to her team as she read from the translated text. The ancient people wrote, "They mirror the behavior expected of them while harboring vast intelligence within." She looked up at the other humans gathered around her. "They are describing us perfectly. We're acting exactly like the Veltar. Expect us to act while hiding our real thoughts and abilities." The team continued reading through the night. The ancient texts told the story of creatures who had appeared simple and harmless to the Veltar's ancestors. These beings seemed happy to be kept as pets, eating the food given to them, and playing with simple toys. But secretly, they were learning everything about their captors. Dr. Lee Haeonwoo, specialized in studying ancient alien cultures, found the most frightening passage of all. His hands shook as he translated the old symbols. "Beware the small ones who show no resistance," he read aloud. "Their patience is their greatest weapon. They will learn all your secrets while you believe them incapable of understanding." The room fell silent. Every human there realized what this meant. Somewhere in the past, creatures exactly like humans had fooled the Veltar's ancestors in the same way, and whatever happened next had been terrible enough that the survivors felt they needed to write warnings about it. What happened to the Veltar who encountered these creatures before? Asked Dr. Choi Min-Seok. Dr. Lee Haeonwoo searched through more of the ancient texts. "The records become unclear after this point," he said. "But there are references to the great defeat and the humbling of the Crystal Lords. It seems like the Veltar Empire suffered a major loss." While the humans were making these discoveries underground, something interesting was happening above ground. Many of the Veltar aliens had begun to develop real feelings for their human pets. They no longer saw humans as just amusing creatures to watch. Some aliens had become emotionally attached to specific humans. Sub-Commander Kethron was one of these aliens. He had grown very fond of a young human girl named Kim the Jin. Every day he would visit her in the conservation zone and watch her perform what he thought were simple dances. The little girl would move her arms and legs in patterns that looked like innocent play. But Kim the Jin was not just dancing. She was actually sending coded messages to the human resistance. Her arm movements told other humans about alien patrol schedules. Her leg movements indicated which aliens were carrying weapons. Her spinning and jumping showed which areas had heavy alien security. Kethron had no idea that his favorite human pet was actually a skilled spy who was helping coordinate resistance activities. Thought she was just a cute child who liked to dance for him. Other Veltar had similar relationships with humans they had grown to care about. They brought special gifts for their favorite humans and spent extra time watching them. The aliens began to think of certain humans as friends rather than pets. This emotional connection became important when Park Jin-ho received disturbing news during one of his daily intelligence briefings. Hidden cameras and listening devices had recorded private conversations between high-ranking Veltar officials. "The aliens are planning something terrible," Park Jin-ho reported to Dr. Kim Sora during a secret meeting. "They are discussing a military campaign against something called the Helix Nebula colonies." Dr. Kim Sora had learned enough about galactic politics to know what this meant. "The Helix Nebula colonies are peaceful alien settlements," she explained. "They do not have military technology. They're farmers and artists and scientists who have never hurt anyone." Park Jin-ho nodded grimly. "The Veltar want to expand their empire by conquering these peaceful aliens? They plan to use Earth as a base for their military operations. Our planet will become a launching point for attacks against innocent people." The Human Leadership Council met in emergency session that night. They had spent a year learning about Veltar technology, studying their culture, and preparing for an eventual confrontation. But they had hoped to have more time. "We cannot let them use our world to attack innocent people," Dr. Kim Sora said. "We have learned enough about their technology. We know their weaknesses. We understand their psychology." Dr. Lee Hyun-woo agreed. "The ancient texts make it clear what we must do. The creatures who came before us chose to reveal themselves when the Veltar threatened others. We must follow their example." Park Jin-ho looked around the room at the faces of humanity's leaders. "Then we are decided. We end the deception. Show them who we really are." The decision was made. After 1 year of pretending to be simple pets, humanity would finally reveal the truth. The greatest performance in galactic history was about to come to an end. The day had finally arrived. It was the Veltar Empire's most important holiday. The celebration of when their ancestors first began conquering other worlds thousands of years ago. Commander Vexful had planned a special ceremony in the Soul Conservation Zone, where he expected to watch his favorite human pets perform their usual entertaining tricks. The central plaza was decorated with beautiful crystal formations that glowed in rainbow colors. Hundreds of Veltar aliens had gathered to watch what they thought would be a delightful show by their adorable human companions. The aliens chatted happily among themselves, pointing at the humans and making comments about how cute they looked. "Commander?" Vexfil stood at the center of the plaza, his crystal body pulsing with bright blue light that showed his good mood. "Today we celebrate another successful year of caring for these wonderful creatures," he announced to his fellow aliens. "Let us watch as they show us their simple games and innocent behaviors." But something was different today. Instead of the usual group of humans acting like playful pets, only one human stepped forward. It was Dr. Kim Sora, but she did not look like the timid, simple creature the aliens expected to see. "Dr. Kim." Sora walked into the center of the plaza with her back straight and her head held high. She looked directly at Commander Vexfil, not with the submissive gaze of a pet, but with the confident stare of an equal. The aliens began to murmur among themselves, confused by her unusual behavior. Then Dr. Kim Sora spoke, and her words changed everything. "Commander Vexfil," she said in a clear, strong voice that carried across the entire plaza. But she was not speaking in simple human language. She was speaking in perfect ancient Veltar dialect, using words and grammar that even many Veltar had forgotten. The effect was immediate and shocking. Commander Vexfil's crystal body began to flicker rapidly between different colors, sign of extreme surprise and confusion. The other aliens stopped their conversations and stared at the human in disbelief. "We must speak of the sacred codex," Dr. Kim Sora continued in the ancient alien language, "and the warnings your ancestors left for you." Around the plaza, other humans began to stand up. They were no longer crouching or sitting like pets. Stood tall and began to speak in unison, all using the same perfect ancient Veltar dialect. The small ones who show no resistance, they recited together, quoting directly from the aliens' own holy book. "Who accept your gifts and play your games, while learning the secrets of your technology and the weaknesses of your empire." "Commander?" Vexfil's crystal form began to pulse with red light, a sign of fear and alarm. He recognized these words. They were from the most sacred and secret parts of the Veltar Prophecies, passages that only the highest-ranking aliens were allowed to read. "How do you know these words?" he demanded in his native language. Dr. Kim Sora smiled, a cold and intelligent expression that no Veltar had ever seen on a human face before. Because we have been studying your language, your culture, and your history for years, we know your prophecies better than you do. As she spoke, something incredible began to happen all around the world. The ground in every conservation zone started to shake and split open. Hidden doors and secret passages revealed themselves. From beneath the Earth's surface, entire cities began to rise. These were not primitive human settlements. They were advanced, technological complexes that rivaled anything the Veltar had built. Gleaming towers emerged from underground, filled with equipment that looked suspiciously similar to Veltar technology, but somehow more advanced. In the Seoul Plaza, Park Jin-ho stepped forward to join Dr. Kim Sora. But he was no longer the simple Keeper Jin-ho who had entertained the aliens with basic gestures. He stood like the world leader he had always been. Commander of HFY, Park Jin-ho said in perfect Veltar language, "We have something important to tell you. We intercepted your radio transmissions 3 years before your ships arrived in our solar system. We have been preparing for this moment." Ever since, the aliens watched in horror as more humans emerged from the hidden underground cities. But these humans were not carrying primitive tools. They were wearing advanced armor and carrying energy weapons that looked exactly like Veltar military equipment. Dr. Choi Min-seok activated a holographic projector that created three-dimensional images in the air above the plaza. The images showed the true extent of what humanity had accomplished during their year of pretending to be pets. Underground cities stretched for miles. Beneath every major continent, factories had been mass-producing copies of Veltar technology. Shipyards had been building spacecraft that could travel between stars. Military bases had been training human soldiers to use alien weapons and tactics. "We could have destroyed your entire fleet the moment you arrived," Dr. Kim Sora explained calmly. "Your ships were outnumbered and outgunned before you even knew we existed. Ow. But we chose not to attack." The commander, this Vel's crystal body was now pulsing with purple light, a color that indicated complete confusion and shock. "Then why?" he managed to ask. "Why did you pretend to be simple creatures?" Dr. Kim Sora's expression softened slightly. "'Cause we wanted to understand who you really were beneath your empire's facade. We wanted to learn if you were truly evil or just afraid." The greatest deception in galactic history was finally revealed, and nothing would ever be the same. The truth about humanity changed everything for the Veltar Empire. When news spread to other alien worlds about what had happened on Earth, the entire empire was thrown into confusion and fear. Some Veltar military leaders wanted to attack Earth immediately, demanding that the humans be destroyed before they could become an even greater threat. But Commander Thexvel was different. The revelation had shaken him deeply, but not with anger or fear. Instead, he felt something he had never experienced before: respect for another species. He called for calm and asked his people to think carefully about what they had learned. "These humans could have killed us all," he told the other Veltar leaders during an emergency council meeting. "They had the power to destroy our entire fleet before we even landed on their planet, but they chose not to. They chose to learn about us instead. This tells us something important about their character." In the weeks that followed, something remarkable happened. Dr. Kim Sora and her team of human scholars began working directly with Veltar researchers to study the ancient prophecies together. They sat in the same rooms, shared the same computers, and discussed the meaning of texts that had shaped Veltar culture for thousands of years. What they discovered together changed how both species understood their history. The ancient prophecies told a story that the Veltar had forgotten or chosen to ignore. Long ago, before the Veltar became conquerors, they had been peaceful explorers who traveled the galaxy to make friends with other species and share knowledge. Dr. Li Huyanwu, working alongside a Veltar historian named Scholar Vexthera, made the most important discovery. "Your people were not always warriors," he explained to the mixed group of humans and aliens. "The ancient texts show that your ancestors were scientists and artists who wanted to learn about the universe." Scholar Vexthera's crystal body glowed with sad purple light as she processed this information. "Then what changed us?" she asked. Dr. Kim Sora answered gently. "Your ancestors encountered creatures like humans before. When they discovered they had been deceived, It traumatized them so deeply that they decided never to trust anyone again. They became conquerors because they believed that domination was the only way to stay safe. The revelation explained so much about Veltar culture: their aggressive expansion across the galaxy, their need to control other species, their fear of being vulnerable. It all came from an ancient trauma that had been passed down through generations. Park. Ginho, speaking as the leader of Earth, made a proposal that surprised everyone. "We do not want to be your enemies," he said to the assembled Veltar leaders. "We offer you a choice. You can continue expanding your empire alone, fighting and conquering as you have always done. Or you can join us in building something completely new, an alliance based on mutual respect and shared knowledge." Many Veltar were suspicious of this offer. They had spent thousands of years believing that other species were threats to be eliminated or controlled. The idea of working as equals with another species seemed impossible. But then something small and simple changed everything. Young Kim the-gin, the little girl who had been dancing coded messages to the resistance, approached Sub-Commander Kethron during one of the joint meetings. She was carrying a piece of paper with a drawing on it. The drawing showed stick figures of humans and Veltar holding hands under a sky filled with stars and planets. The crystal beings and the small humans in the picture were smiling and working together to build something that looked like a space station. "She drew this herself," Kethron told the assembly, his voice filled with wonder. "No one asked her to make it. No one told her what to draw. She just created this image of our two species working together." Kethron held up the simple drawing for everyone to see. Perhaps the small ones possessed something we had forgotten: the ability to see beyond fear to possibility. This child does not see enemies when she looks at us. She sees friends. The moment was powerful enough to change the course of galactic history. Commander Thexfell stood up and made a decision that would reshape the Veltar Empire forever. "We will not attack the Helix Nebula colonies," he announced. "Instead, we will work with our human allies to contact these peaceful species. We will offer them protection and friendship rather than conquest." The transformation took time, but it was real. Humans and Veltar began building the first integrated research station in space, where both species could work together as equals. Dr. Kim Sora and Veltar scholars collaborated to preserve the histories of species the Empire had conquered, ensuring their stories would never be forgotten. Park Da-yoon, who had once secretly copied alien technology in underground bunkers, now led a joint technology development program. She stood in the observation deck of the new space station with her Veltar counterpart, watching human and Veltar children play together in the station's gardens. The children ran and laughed together, not caring about the differences between crystal beings and soft-skinned humans. They were growing up in a galaxy where their species were partners rather than masters and pets. The greatest deception in galactic history had ended not with war or conquest, but with friendship and hope. For the future,